Welcome to Lesson 4. In Lesson 4, we will explore the alphabetic principle. The alphabetic principle is the concept that the English language uses graphemes, letters or letter combinations, to represent phonemes or sounds. The alphabetic principle is dependent upon phonemic awareness and letter recognition. In Lesson 4, we will examine the 44 phonemes or sounds and the 26 graphemes or letters that represent those sounds. We will discuss strategies for teaching letter-sound correspondences, which is the beginning of the process of learning to read. So again, the alphabetic principle is the understanding that there are systematic and predictable relationships between written letters and spoken sounds. It is the foundation for any alphabetic writing system, such as English. There are 26 graphemes, or written representations of phonemes. Often we consider these letters. There are 44 phonemes, which is the smallest sound within a word. English is considered to have a deep orthography, which is the spelling system of language, because several graphemes can represent more than one phoneme. There is not a one-to-one correspondence between graphemes and phonemes. Let's explore the different types of consonant graphemes. First, we have single letter consonant graphemes. This is a single consonant letter that represents a single consonant phoneme. So this is what you traditionally think of when you think of consonants in the alphabet. B, D, C, F, G, H, and so on. Then we have the doublet consonants or bonus letters. A doublet letter is a double letter where you double the letter and it still represents that one phoneme. So these are SS, LL, FF, and ZZ. We double these letters when they come at the end of a one-syllable word with a short vowel. Next, we have digraphs. A digraph is a two-letter combination that stands for a single phoneme in which neither letter represents its usual sound. So consider CH. So C says K, H says H. However, together they make a single sound or phoneme that is unique to their usual sound. So together they say ch, or SH, sh, TH, or th, WH, PH. Trigraph. A trigraph is a three-letter combination that represents, again, one phoneme or one sound. So at the end of words, you will hear ch. You don't hear that. It's spelled with a TCH, but you don't hear that T, like in catch. Or j, spelled with DGE, like in the word judge. Again, it's three-letter combination, but it makes one sound. Moving on to consonant blends. Consonant blends are two or three graphemes, each one representing a phoneme. So they hold their individual sounds, but they blend together. Okay, so a blend is not one sound, but two or three adjacent sounds, and they typically occur before or after a vowel in a syllable. So beginning blends might be like your L blends, CL, cl, BL, bl, GR, gr, TR, tr, SL, sl, SP, sp. And then we've got some three-letter blends like STR, str, SPR, spr. Then we have ending blends that appear after the vowel, like LF in shelf, LK in milk, FT in left, ST in most. So again, they hold their individual sounds, but they blend together. Then we've got silent letter combinations, which is a letter combination where one or more letters is silent, but another letter represents the phoneme. So most of these are Greek or Anglo-Saxon derivation. So let's think of the word knock, right? It's spelled with a K-N, but we only hear the N sound, right? Wrestle, spelled with a W-R, but you only hear the R sound. So the W is silent. Gnat is spelled with G-N, but we don't hear that G sound, right? We just hear the N. Psychology is a PS, so the P is silent. We only hear that S. RH as in rhythm. We don't hear that H, right? LM at the end of a word, palm. We don't hear that L. Folk, LK. We don't hear that L again. MN like in hymn. We don't hear that N on the end of the word. We don't say hymn. And then ST like in the middle of listen. We don't hear that T. We don't say listen. So those are silent letter combinations. Those are less commonly used. We've got odd letter X, which is where the letter X is the only letter that stands for two sounds. So when you say the sound of X, it's X. So it's that K and the S sound together. Occasionally, it'll say gz. So for instance, in the word box, you hear that x sound. And exist, x. In the words exact, you hear the gz. Then we have the combination QU. These two letters always appear together in the English language, and they stand for two separate sounds. K-w, k-w, like in the word quick or quack. Now let's move on to talk about different types of vowel graphemes, starting with those that you are probably most familiar with, the single vowel letter. So a single vowel letter stands for one single sound. So we typically associate these with short vowels and long vowels. So a short vowel gives it short sounds, such as a in the word cap, for e in the word gem, I for I in the word hit, ah for o in the word clod, and for you in the word must. And then we have a vowel's long sound. So the long sound is when it's saying its name, such as long E in the word me, long O in the word no, and long U in the word music. Let's look at vowel teams. These are often also called vowel digraphs because it is a combination of 2, 3, or 4 letters that stand for one sound or one phoneme. So, such as EE, as in the word see, EA in the word meet. Notice how there's 2 letters, but only one is making the sound. OA in the word boat, AI in the word wait. A 3-letter combination, IGH in the word sight, OO in the word hook, OE in the word toe, and IE in the word pie. Then we move on to vowel consonant E. Now this is also maybe known as magic E or silent E. So it's a common pattern for spelling a long vowel where the vowel in the middle says its name, because the E on the end is silent. So, such as A with an E on the end, such as in cake. So we hear the A, the long A, but the E is silent. E in the middle with a silent E on the end in here. I in the middle with an E on the end, such as in the word fire. O in the middle with an E on the end, such as in hose. And U in the middle with an E on the end, such as in the word mule. Moving on to R controlled vowels. So R controlled vowels is where a single vowel letter that's followed by R stands for a unique vowel sound. The R is controlling how that vowel sounds. So ER as in her, IR as in bird, and UR as in burn. You'll notice that ER, IR, and UR all have the same sound, Then we have AR, like in the word car, and OR, like in the word horn. And lastly, we have diphthongs. So a diphthong is a sound that's formed by the combination of two vowels in a single syllable in which the sound begins as one sound and then moves to another. So remember, we talked about this in the previous lesson about how your mouth has two positions, right? So such as in O-I, oi. Okay, so it starts at oi, such as in the word coin, and then OU, ow, such as in the word loud. In kindergarten, students begin to learn that letters represent phonemes. The order of instruction can vary. However, it is best to start by teaching a few consonants and one vowel so students can start blending sounds into words. For example, teaching the letter sound correspondences for M, S, F, A, and T will provide opportunities for students to blend and make the words at, mat, sat, fat, and Sam. An explicit systematic phonics program typically comes with letter sound spelling cards that use a key word to help students distinguish it from others and store it in their memory. An example is shown here from the program Foundations. You see A, apple, A, B, bat, B, C, cat, K, and so on. When teaching new letter sound correspondences, it is best to use an explicit routine. An example of a routine will be demonstrated for you in another video that follows in this lesson.